Xiaomi Mi 9, great specs, low price, lots of people love it for sure, including me, but what has it actually been like over the past few months of using this device? I want to show you guys exactly what it's been like using the device, going through some settings menus, going through playing some games, testing this device against an iPhone, just to see what these two have in common and what is different between them. What is the audio like? What is the screen like watching video? We're gonna compare them so you can see. So before we start, I do wanna say that if you do get the Xiaomi, just be careful about the screen, because I know that Xiaomi say that it's Gorilla Glass 5 on here and it's really tough, but actually, I'm not sure if you can see on the top there, but I took this out the other day to do the camera test against the iPhone and against the Canon camera. If you want to see that, I guess I'll link it below. You can have a look at that camera test. But the screen is scratched. I had it in my pocket with, I think, another phone, and the camera bump on the other phone, probably the iPhone, scratched the screen. And it is there and I can't rub it off. It's in this part here. So if you do buy the Xiaomi Mi 9, you definitely are going to want to put a screen protector on there. That's not to say that the Mi 9 screen is bad compared to other phones, but it did scratch pretty easily against the back of another phone. First test we're going to do on both of these is Subway Surfers. I'm going to do an A/B test. I'm not going to tell you which screen is which, so I'm going to cut out the iPhone, cut out the Xiaomi, and just tell me which one you think is better, which one has better colors, or which one you think is a bit sharper. I actually can't tell a difference between either of these screens. Now, obviously they're both AMOLED, but in terms of colors and brightness, they're really similar. I couldn't say that one is better than the other. One thing I like with the Xiaomi though, is that you get dark modes, which you don't get on the iPhone. So if I go into the phone app compared to the phone app with the iPhone, it's black versus white. I just like the black or the dark modes. If you go into maybe the Notes app, again, it's got a dark mode. I actually prefer looking at a black screen with white writing rather than a white screen with black writing, so I prefer using the Xiaomi in that regard. Let's check out PUBG. Let's see if you can see any difference between PUBG on both of these. Obviously, frame rate, processing power in terms of the graphics is gonna change the way it looks quite a lot. So let's load them at the same time. 3, 2, 1, go. See which one loads it quicker. Just as a side note, I'm actually really impressed and pleased with how the Xiaomi dealt with playing PUBG and recording the screen in about 2K resolution simultaneously. That obviously takes a lot of processing power. The 855 in this phone, thank goodness, is doing a really good job. I played PUBG for about 10 minutes and recorded the screen as well. The iPhone had no problem, of course, but a lot of Android phones have real difficulty doing both of those. Luckily, the Xiaomi had absolutely no problems. Really pleased with that, and actually the gaming experience on both of these screens is really exactly the same. I could not tell you the difference from my eye holding the phones, which screen is which. Having said that, one of the things I'd say about the Xiaomi is the audio from the phone isn't the best. Now, I guess Xiaomi want you to use their Bluetooth speakers for your home and their AirDots when you're playing, but the audio out of the phone really isn't amazing. I'm going to do an A/B test. I'm going to play the same song with the iPhone and with the Xiaomi, see if you can tell the difference, which one you like more or less, and then we'll know which one is which. A good feature of the Xiaomi that I've actually used a lot is the home button long hold and press to open up some shortcuts. So on the iPhone, if you want to use an app like this, you can press 3D touch. You can just hold it down and it comes up with some shortcuts. Obviously the Xiaomi doesn't have 3D touch, but what you can do when you press the fingerprint scanner to open the phone is just hold it down and it comes up with some shortcuts on the screen. Now obviously in China, WeChat and Alipay are the two main apps, and you pay for everything with your phone using WeChat and Alipay. So it's really easy and convenient to have these here. You can change these if you scroll over here to the shortcuts menu, and there are a few apps that it works with. As far as I'm aware, Xiaomi have chosen these apps, and you can't really add any more apps to it, unfortunately. So at the moment, Xiaomi basically support WeChat and Alipay. They support Mi Pay as well, some QR code scanners, and also some other native apps from Xiaomi. Now there's some apps that I haven't got that they support, for example Youku, which is a video app here, very much like YouTube. It's not installed, but I can use it as a shortcut. I tried to install PayPal just to see if other apps might work with the shortcuts. Maybe you could add some shortcuts. I've added PayPal just to see if maybe PayPal or WhatsApp would work with it, but unfortunately it doesn't. I installed PayPal, but it hasn't come up as a shortcut. So I'm guessing that the only apps that are supported are the ones that Xiaomi have already put in this. It's a really convenient feature for me because living in China I can use those apps and they're useful. But if you buy the Chinese ROM of the Xiaomi and you live outside of mainland China, then that might be a feature that the phone has that you're not going to be able to take advantage of. I assume that the global version of the Xiaomi probably will support Facebook and Instagram. I suppose it has to. But just a note that if you're buying the Chinese ROM, maybe that feature is something that you can't use. However, all of the other features on the phone I think are going to be really compatible with whatever you want to do. If you do buy the Chinese ROM of the phone, you have to install Google Play services. I have a video about that which I'll link below. It tells you how to install Google Play on the phone because the Chinese ROM doesn't come with it as standard. So yeah, after a couple of months of using this thing extensively, going through speed tests, and camera tests, testing the phone and using it on a daily basis, and I keep comparing it to the iPhone, and each time I'm saying, well, maybe the iPhone is a little bit better here or a little bit better there. I can also say that this thing also has some points that are better than the iPhone. For example, the screen's bigger and the bezels are smaller. So really, for 3,000 RMB, which this one goes for, the 6GB version, it's really incredible value, and a phone that I think if you do buy it, you will be very pleased with.